A very warm welcome back to the PGL Major Kraków 2017. Day number 4, round number 4. We're also going to have round number 5 later on, which will see the final 3 teams entered into the quarterfinals. We are moving into the quarterfinal knockout matches very shortly. But first up, the last of the elimination matches where NaVi go head-to-head with Fnatic. 2 fabled teams, 2 teams we might have expected to squeak into the quarterfinals. One of them is going home. We're also back with Fifth Lauren and Moses for the final time today. Jason, this is mouth-watering for us, but it must be awful for the players.
It's actually kind of awful for us as well. Like, yeah, it's going to be a really great game, but obviously you don't want either of these teams to go out. Like, you just wish there was some way that this didn't have to happen. But
yeah,
yeah. And in terms of like the lore of CS:GO history that we have, I mean, all these players so storied, a lot of talent. But this is going to be a huge battle because actually, I loved what I saw to Fnatic yesterday on Nuke. I thought they looked very, very good. They came in with like a plan, and a lot of it came down to some of that individual prowess. But at least you're starting to see. We mentioned that they keep trying to add a little bit more strategic depth to their gameplay, and you saw some of that on Nuke. NaVi's been doing the same thing. And with all this skill, with all this talent, with all these big-name players as well, the kind of aggression that both of these teams like to do, this is one of those games where it could just be a brawl, just back and forth.
Let's hope so, from our point of view,
for our sake as well,
to enjoy it. Let's start with NaVi, Robin. How have you assessed their major so far?
CT sides have been pretty actually decent. That was my main worry, like coming into, because they don't have. I've been keeping on saying this. They don't have any game leader. They're a full-blown in-game leader. They have Cease that's calling right now, and he's kind of like Chris J in terms of like, oh, we'll see how it works and get some.
He's a start of round in-game leader, isn't he?
Exactly, and then you have the team, the remaining players of your team, and just like giving him some hints, right? Just, oh, okay, this is what's going on here. We should go here. The problem with that is that if you have a really new in-game leader and you take in all this intel from your teammates, most of the times as well, maybe it doesn't work out, and then you have this kind of weird mixture of like, oh, I actually don't know what to do anymore, or like, oh, are you guys even listening to me? I know that you guys said one thing, but I am calling that we should go here, and then it's like a little bit. Doesn't really work out, right? We saw that versus.
Well, we heard it from Guardian in an interview.
Yeah.
It was astonishing, Jason, actually, when he said, there are times when we're not sure we should do what he's told us to do.
Exactly, and
that's astonishing admission.
That's something that you have to go into a little bit even before the game, right? When you're talking about this, like, yes, you guys can give me all the detail you want. You can give me advice on where we should go. If I am telling you guys we are going here, you need to listen. There can't be any second guess. There can't be anything like that. If you guys have a problem with it, we call timeout and we can talk about it, right? Not during the actual round, because what happens is it's just going to be very spread out. It's not going to be proper executes. It's just going to be, maybe Simple runs in by himself, and technically maybe Guardian was supposed to be behind him. That doesn't happen because he's a little bit confused, right? And we saw that on NaVi T side versus G2, I think on Overpass, where it's like their T side was great, and then T side just fell apart completely.
Well, we're expecting them to have fixed some of that. Let's move on to Fnatic, Jason. Same question, really. It feels like they've had a good tournament, even though they've had 1 and 2.
Well, this is the team that caused Chad to say we're really giving out a lot of A's for effort at this event, right? Because I mean, it does look good, but they're just not getting over the finish line. Right. I mean, going into Nuke against Astralis of all teams just seemed like insanity from Fnatic, but they played very well, and obviously that plan was executed well. They did a good job with it. It just doesn't get them the win, which is unfortunate. But that's the story of this Fnatic since they've gotten back together. Was every time they're taking a step forward and it looks like they're getting back into the swing of things, they still just don't have enough to complete it. So it's just a little bit heartbreaking in that sense. But I mean, some of the positives for these guys, JW's been playing phenomenally lately. Dennis had a huge game yesterday. I mean, they have some of these guys stepping up in massive ways. Crims has those games where he looks back to form. But then you get to some of the issues they're having, and it's much like NaVi, the in-game leadership. I mean, they never had one, right? They were one of the teams that could like really get away after Pronax of not having like a true in-game leader. The talent and the style that they had, it's such a hard style to pull off when you have this many players that are so good without an in-game leader, and the only reason they pulled it off is because of the communication, because they always seem to know what each other were doing, and they seem to have lost that mojo to a certain degree. So you're going to see some of those struggles from both teams on the T side. Yesterday the game plan went well on Nuke, but at times on the T side it was just frags going down. Okay,
Vito incoming. Fnatic will start things off with the first 2 bans, and they've removed Trainer Nuke.
I think it would be just epic if we just got like this matchup is just like a classic teams in CS:GO. If we just got a classic map, if we just bust out an Inferno here, both teams. Oh, jeez.
Yeah, gone.
You hate to see that, don't you?
Commentators curse, mate.
There goes all my dreams. All my dreams.
You just broke, Jason.
You can definitely tell the Fnatic's reasoning here with NaVi playing Overpass twice this tournament, and they've lost both times. Even though it's not a map particularly that Fnatic normally plays, it's definitely a one that they're leaning towards now. It's like,
and it squeaked through.
Yeah, so they could potentially pick it now. They're doing the little coin flip thing again, of course. There's not really a coin there.
Loving the memes.
Yeah, loving the memes.
Indulging themselves in all the memes.
So what did we get on the coin flip? Did we get an overpass?
Or do we go Mirage? We go Mirage. So it's going to be a classic fight on a brawly map between two brawly teams.
And this is my... Okay,
that's great for us.
Yeah. Definitely. And I think actually what I do like about Fnatic this tournament is that I feel like they've gone out of the comfort zone quite a bit.
Yeah.
You know, we've seen Cash versus VP. They ended up losing that one, but then we also see Nuke, and that's something that I touched upon.
That one as well.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that it's something that I was talking about yesterday with Fnatic. Is like I don't understand why they don't play a map like Nuke. It really fits their players, and they should really play it. And then go against Astralis, which is notorious. Like the Danish people are notorious Nuke players, right? Yeah. So I just feel like they are trying things. They have been struggling as of late, but they are definitely trying. And now we come back to a map that they were playing Flipside on. Their seat side in the beginning didn't really look that well, but then they ended up getting back on their taste. And I was actually playing pretty good Counter-Strike.
It's the same thing with NaVi though, right? Like we've always talked about. This would be such a sick team if they could just like put Cash in their map pool and just bust it out at the most unexpected time. But yeah, both teams obviously trying to improve some of the maps that they don't normally play just to get some edge in some matchups. Here on Mirage, this is going to be great, I think, just because of how well these teams have played in the past. Right now, it's in like the middle of both of their map pools. There's not like one clear-cut favor on it, in my opinion. A lot of it is going to be down to like the oppers, like JW, and how aggressive he can get. This is a classic map for his old school style of opping. If he wants to get a little frisky. Guardian as well has been great on this map. So I think the big danger for Fnatic is going to be when does the double op setup come out? When does Simple pick one up to go next to Guardian and have two on each side of or have one on each side of the map? And that's just a deadly combination. So I think we're going to see a lot more CT aggression as well. I think this is another map where you can see that.
In terms of star power, Jason already picked up the fact that JW is the top performing Fnatic player right now, but he's only +7 on the KD right now and the best player in the team. There are 3 above him from NaVi, the 3 that you would expect, Flamey, Guardian, and Simple actually rated 4th on HLTV right now out of all the matches. Considering how poor they've been, that's a pretty big performance, and they're going to need those 3 to carry on that today.
No, I mean, definitely it's the same with Fnatic, right? Like when you talk about Fnatic, you say Olofmeister, you used to be the best player in the world. You say Flusha, best rated player during majors for the team. JW actually should be a little bit lower down because then you also talk about Crims, right? One of the best seat-sided players that basically just made that kind of style that you can still play defensive by yourself and just stay alive, wait for teammates, and just did that so well, right?
I don't want to leave him out either, but Dennis has had a couple of great rounds.
When I think of Dennis, right, I don't even think about him as a rifle player. I don't think about him as an opera. I just think of master of pistols. Right. We see this guy again and again just getting, especially on pistol rounds, getting the 2, 3, 4 kills, winning pistol rounds for his team. That's what he does.
He's the Forest of Fnatic.
Definitely.
I like that. We've got to move on because the players are ready. So we are going to get into this game pretty damn sharpish, and we're going to go back to our commentary team. They're waiting for yet another heartbreak match. This time it's Fnatic versus NaVi with Anders and Semler.
It's going to be wild, this one. Like, it's already been a crazy morning. We started pretty early. We had some really sick games now, but this one, there are huge fan bases behind both these two teams, right? There's going to be a lot of broken hearts. What do you think, Semler? Who's your money on, NaVi or Fnatic?
It's going to come down to whether NaVi can seize the moment or whether Fnatic streams will be flushed down the toilet. I don't know, man. Where I'm going with this one.
Got to put your money on one team.
NaVi.
You've got NaVi. I asked Henry, and he said Fnatic, which I thought was bold. I've got my money on NaVi too. It's mostly gut feeling. I wish there was like a deeper level of analysis into it here. I just feel like they're gonna have it. I feel like Seized has been gone missing in some of the games that they've been playing, and surely today he's gonna be there, and then Fnatic, I don't know, like
man, it's so tough. It is a tough one because this is also Fnatic's like old stomping ground.
Yeah, I have NaVi's too when they were the best in the world at playing this map.
Yeah,
I don't know, like I want to be persuaded by the Fnatic lineup. I really do, because I think there's all the history and nostalgia of them, in their prime and just the most incredible run that they had, but I don't know if I'm 100% convinced yet. Either way, this is going to be an absolutely crazy game. On Mirage, best of 1 again. 1-2 is a scoreline for both the team. Elimination time. You lose here, you're out. Same has been true already for Mouse Sports, for Penta. Having to say goodbye to teams is never fun, is it?
No, especially not when teams are doing so well, right? But that's the whole point of the major, Anders. It's to narrow down in the group phase 16 teams to 8 for the playoffs, and eventually we will see who's actually going to emerge at the top of the pack, who will be the best in the world. But it is agony, especially the first match of the day, Mouse Sports Cloud9. You don't want either of those ones going home from the groups. You want both of them getting into the playoffs. It's just that was agony to watch. But at the same time, elation for Cloud9. They continue on. They will be playing on in the matches to follow against another team that is at 2-2. But to see Fnatic leave, well, this is where you have to wonder, right? What is going to happen if Fnatic actually get ejected in the group phase, right? If they don't get results. This team has been created and used to be the most dominant team in CSGO history. They were created to try and reproduce that, and they have not managed it whatsoever. And so now, if they go out in the groups in the major, what happens with the roster? Massive Swedish shuffle incoming, maybe.
Yeah, it could be. There's obviously Godsend holding on to some of the other talent. NiP seem to be on an upward trajectory, so I guess they will probably want to see how that works out. Rez is doing a fantastic job. Raken seems to be fitting in well. So, yeah, it could be something like that. I feel like the Fnatic Godsend, like, I mean, how many more times can you shuffle that? Like, they already did the shuffle, the sort of reverse shuffle, right? So, eventually you're gonna run out of space to just shuffle those players around. So, I don't know. Well, I guess we'll have to find out. Hopefully, not just yet. And, I mean, I still feel like this Fnatic team has been improving. I would say, even if they can't win this game, this is a tough game to be playing if you're either one of these two teams, right? You could sort of excuse yourself if you ended up not making this work. Mm-hmm. I would still want to see the Fnatic project continue, in my opinion. But
well, victory would be certainly sweet here for NaVi if they were to take down Fnatic to stay alive in the tournament. I mean, when they lived under Fnatic's reign of terror, the outright dominance, just unable to beat them.
Everybody
to be able to knock them out here would be huge for NaVi. Well, but I mean, it's just a shock to find NaVi, I think, in this sort of situation where they are on the edge of getting eliminated. Definitely one of the strong contenders coming into this tournament. You expect them to be in like the 2-1 bracket, you know, battling for a spot in the playoffs, not battling just to stay alive.
Yeah, but I mean, there's been a lot of unexpected turns, right? Obviously, yesterday was maybe one of the more absurd situations, and again, even after this game is done, we have another 6 games in the day to decide who are going to be more teams going out and making their way through. It's going to be definitely wild. I think especially the last draws that happen in the day, where you get to find out, well, then who are Cloud9 and Flipside and the likes playing for the final game. Is going to be really crazy. Well, still waiting.
So
I think
incredibly competitive.
Yeah, it will be. I think we just had JW joining. He was having a bit of an issue getting onto the server. Now everything should be fine. Or I say that, did someone just disconnect?
Warm-up has the countdown has begun to start the pistol round here. We're 15 seconds away, and so we're about to get into the action, ladies and gents. Welcome. This is the 3rd match of the day, an elimination match. Both of these teams on the edge of getting ejected out of the major, which would be a horrible disappointment to both of them. And so now, I mean, we're talking about multiple major winners holding multiple titles. Fnatic versus NaVi, who have yet to reach those heights, but who are definitely in the running. Whoever goes home here, it's not going to be pretty.
Well, welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. NaVi versus Fnatic here, the PGL Major, the final day of the group stage. Elimination match is what's on the line. NaVi going to be starting on the CT side, Fnatic on the T side, and Crim's the one taking a bit of a hit for the team and buying the smoke and the double flashbang. Could be used in any number of places. Right now, looks like they're a bit conservative, just waiting for maybe a top mid push from NaVi, expecting that could be happening, but it's not.
Some kind of mid action here. We have the flank coming in from Olafmeister and JW through underpass as well. So they were definitely hoping for somebody to be around window connector. And there it is, sure enough. Edward just checking on short. He is going to get a little bit of information here, and he gets run over by Dennis, who continues to shine in pistol rounds. This man is unbelievable in pistols. He just keeps getting headshots left and right.
And Edward, former champion himself of that kind of situation, if he had got the kill on one of those or both of those players, then that would have been the bomb dropped in the middle of a very awkward situation. JW waiting, Guardian trying to sneak his way in, looking for a shot close range, and he's just tapping away madly, taking down JW.
JW doesn't hit a single shot there.
Yeah.
What? When he gets the drop on him up close?
Trying to fight Agent Guardian.
Agent Guardian.
Dodging everything. Now, here's the problem, though. Look at the boost that's inside the bomb site. It's very unlikely they'll check this. That almost never happens, especially on the pistol round. So maybe Simple could go Super Saiyan here. It's going to be the quick execute on one. A second follow-up as well. Simple looking for more headshots. He's only got 7 bullets left, and Dennis is alone. And Simple will close out the round. All 3 headshots. And that's how you get started if you're NaVi. What a sick boost. I mean, it's uncommon because a lot of the time it's really ineffective. It's sort of, yeah, if you don't make it work for the first couple of shots, then you have nowhere to go. You're just going to get locked in. But that was beautiful.
If they run by without actually checking the corners, you know, that's what happens. And if you give a player like Simple that opportunity, you're going to be in for a pretty sad time. That's speaking of another player who is just absolutely unreal when it comes to major play. He even has a tag.
Well, my big point of criticism for Simple and how, well, not even so much Simple, but for how NaVi use Simple is that he seems so restrained at times. There are whole games where it feels like he's just on a leash, and they won't let go of him. That really frustrates me. I have a motto when NaVi play: unleash Simple.
Yeah, I know. It's tough. It's like this is where we differ because at the same time, yes, you have a crazy star player. Either you build the entire team around him the way that Nico built Mouse, and you literally just the whole unit works off of him, and if he fails, well, then you got nothing left because you've literally constructed the whole thing around him. Or you have to try and fit him in around the likes of Flamey and Guardian and try and figure out how to make it so that he is not sucking all the oxygen out of the room because you still have crazy stars in those two.
I would say have the rest of NaVi be like their own 4-man team, and then just let Simple just do his thing. Just don't disturb him. Just let him do crazy things.
Let him have freedom, right? I mean, that's how Titan used to be built around Kenny, for example. Well, I mean, NaVi around Guardian used to be the entire strategy on T side. Get Guardian into positions with the AWP for him to find picks.
Well, Fnatic themselves are a team that used to be modeled on something slightly similar. I mean, JW used to have freedom to go and do crazy fights with the AWP all over the place. And, they knew that some of the time he would go down and wouldn't win that fight, but then the rest of the 4-man squad would just sort of shrug and say, that's fine. We knew that could happen. Now we're going to play the 4v5 and try and win anyway. Yeah. But that comes down to where the rest of NaVi have that mentality, because the problem is if Simple sort of runs off the rails and it doesn't work, and then the rest of NaVi is saying, damn, why did he have to do that? Then it's no good. There has to be a mutual understanding that is the plan.
Exactly right. I mean, there was a time when I think Olafmeister kind of just took it, though. It wasn't like it was given to him. It was more just like, actually, I'm just going to be a god now and just run all over the place and clutch and entry and do everything. But it feels like everybody on Fnatic has had kind of that moment. Crims, the ultimate defender. Impossible to shut this guy down in the clutch or in holding on the sides. Look at that. He knows it.
He's in the groove. What kind of tunes is he listening to? Seems to be that there is a sound issue that's being fixed here, so NaVi surely going to get right back into it. I prefer for there to be no technical issues, but that is hard to accomplish with 10 players and 10 headsets and 10 mice and 10 keyboard and everything else.
And all the drivers and everything that comes with it.
Or everything else comes with it. So it's kind of, but if they are going to happen, then it's always better if it's early on in the game. Like, it's really hard when you have tech issues at like 13-13, then that's way more disturbing. Now, there's a natural break in the game anyway now between the pistol, so it has much less impact, I think. And yeah, I wonder, this is such a slow zoom out. We do just have Jumpy there and waiting, but I know Khan is here. Patrick.
Yesterday.
Speaking of 1.6 players, and speaking of people who, I saw Richard was giving a lot of credit, Richard Lewis yesterday, to Gobby and just his work ethic and everything else. Khan obviously working less sort of directly with the team in that sense, but one of the people I've run into in esports that works the hardest.
Well, I mean, yeah, absolutely. The guy is like, I don't know how many miles he's racked up on a plane by now, but
absolute madness.
I mean, it's just like, how do you still have energy, Karn? But his title is pretty dope. Chief Gaming Officer.
Chief
the
Gaming
CGO. Like he is responsible for the teams and figuring out the players, etc. And while he delivers.
Yeah, it's very interesting. I guess he was one of the early people who came from like the player side and decided to go into like more of the business side of things. And that was like, still in the late 1.6 days that he started to transition. And that's very interesting. Not everyone can do that. Not everyone has a mind for it. He obviously does. So, yeah, still waiting. Edward is saying they're almost ready. They should be good to go in just a couple of seconds here. So I'm excited for it. Back in the game, or just going to be the replay. Well, I'm glad we can see this because this is beautiful.
Yeah, those two.
2 bullets, 2 headshots.
Yep. And then he manages to just point blank the next one. Come out, come out. Yeah, Dennis tried to do his best there, but he wasn't able to reproduce the headshot on Edward. And so we are into it now. The second round here in this first half on Mirage. 4 spy coming in from Fnatic with no bomb plant. They're just going to commit to it. And of course, it is going to be a full buy for NaVi. They do have 3 SMGs and the 2 rifles and some aggression from Edward, top mid. Unfortunately, that's not where the action's going to be. Very quick play here onto the A side from Fnatic, just exploding out.
Oh, lethal Molotov on JW, forcing him out, but his teammates are there to cover him, so he's going to be able to get the bomb plant at least there. Crim's trying to transition on in. 4 versus 4 with the bomb down. Big win already for the Fnatic team. Now, NaVi waiting for Edward to get into position so he can start the retake here. May be able to get a free kill on Crims. That would set it up very nicely. Molotov up into the apartment, sees the one opening up, and Edward now a bit late to the party. They should have probably had him go in first. Now Simple gets a kill as well. So still a 2-on-3. Flush are going to be able to go down, and Dennis last to fall. It will be around here for NaVi, even though without the kit, man, that was... Oh, wow.
Cutting it so close.
Edward had the kit, so maybe...
No, he picked it up.
C's
was holding onto it, and C's got bulleted over at, I think it was jungle.
Wow.
So I think they were running around looking for it, but then they realized they actually had it if they just got on.
Couple of more seconds, that would have been done.
Well, you know, this isn't NA. These aren't this isn't CLG playing.
I mean...
Just gotta throw them under the bus real quick. I mean,
why not?
It's like they're still working on winning titles, but when it comes to titles of like blunders, you know, they're I think you know, CLG, that's gonna be a tough one to live down.
We'll make fun of them for a while, but certainly American Counter-Strike as a whole is looking so much more interesting now, which is
it's still
nice
alive.
to be able to say it's still alive.
It's still alive. Cloud9 is still alive.
Maybe. Bit out in the open. Yeah, and it's also being joined now by German Counter-Strike out of nowhere.
Yeah.
I had given up on that idea.
It was pretty fun talking to Henry, though, yesterday. He's just like, yes, it's nice to see these new teams. I have completely given up on UKCS. It will never happen. It will never happen for us. We just have to accept it.
Let's see. Let's see. Keeping the hope alive. Guardian will take down JW. Another bomb plant coming in for Fnatic. That's great news on them. It's a shame they couldn't get some of these kills. They did a tremendous amount of damage in this round. But overall, they're going to be happy about the money that they have going into the next round, which is going to be just a lot of money. So let's see how this will play out. 3-0 for NaVi early on. And are we going to see some great sniping coming out? Right now, nobody on NaVi has the AWP picked up, and it seems like nobody will. So that might be an edge for Fnatic in this round if they want to do that on JW.
Yeah, JW can commit to it. But it's going to be the AK. AK full nades. Okay. No Molotov, though, from him. Interesting. Or maybe he throws a smoke. He throws a short smoke early. And, no.
Currently all stacked up towards the B hallways, and C's just holding the jump with the UMP. Actually going to be jumping all the way over onto the platform, so yeah, this is not such a bad position. If you get a bit of warning, you throw in that Molotov, you try and throw out a flash and just hope that Edward can get the crossfire on the other side. There's not going to be that much warning, but actually the Molotov is really perfectly timed. Another one coming in as well. It's not looking good here for Fnatic, taking a lot of damage. And C's manages to fall back, almost gets the kill on Olofmeister, but look at the health that's left on Fnatic. They're so softened up already. Flusher, though, will take one down. So maybe this could be done. 4 versus 3, and Simple with the flank.
Yeah, Simple with the flank, but Crims is in position to deal with this. Although he's going to walk out, he gives it up, doesn't matter. Crims still hits the headshot. Simple is going to be kicking himself. There was a golden opportunity, and now Guardian and Flamey have to start thinking about backing off. Because a 2v4 retake with an after-plant situation like this for Fnatic, this is a tall order here for NaVi when they have no nades to make their lives easier. Well, actually, you know, Fnatic were like, here, have a nade.
Yeah, helping out.
We'll help you out real quick.
Sharing is caring. This is a strange round because C's did almost everything perfectly then. He didn't get any kills, but the Molotov in, a lot of damage, almost taking Olofmeister down. Like, all of these things are setting up everything perfectly. And then C's somehow not getting the kill on Crims. It's almost unbelievable because the rest of the guys in kitchen, Guardian and Flamey coming in, they're just waiting for him, you know, that get the opening and then we'll go. Oh, no opening. All right. 3-1, Fnatic. I'm honestly shocked they won that round. It's very impressive.
Yeah, showing a lot of, well, just a lot of coordination and bravery, really. When the call comes through and you're running through flames, you're not feeling too good about the situation. You're taking a lot of damage. And yet Fnatic, they were able to get out there very quickly, and you got to give it to them. That is what they are capable of. They've always had it in them. And so it's plays like that that make Fnatic a world beater. Double AWP in play here for NaVi, though. This is how they're changing it up. Simple in connector with his Guardian. It's like a crossfire with ops in mid. That's fun.
And leaves Seized alone on the bomb site now. Guardian is going to rotate back towards Catwalk, and Simple will pick up the kill on Olofmeister first. That was down in Underpass, so very aggressive coming out here. The Ukrainian sniper.
The thing is, JW is still up in Palace with his AWP. But they have, what, 3 smokes right now for NaVi. It's a question of whether or not Simple's going to get caught when he comes back up here, because JW is definitely going to be looking. Although, as I say that, JW is holding a passive angle. Is he expecting aggression?
I think right now, NaVi are just saying, you can get the bomb down, that's no problem. We're going to retake it. So that's very common on this map. People don't do it on B because retaking B is just a nightmare, but on A, perfectly possible. It's very hard for the T side to figure out exactly where to stand. And if they have to plant default, then there's almost no positions left to stand on to stop the defuse. So definitely a tough position here. Flamey moving up a bit aggressive. And they are all coming for him. That's a stunning headshot to take down one. He actually gets a second as well. And Grenade going to rain in. JW's a bit further back than to get killed by it. But still, time is running out. Flamey is just doing all the work in this round. Almost getting 3 kills. JW and Crims, how can they make this work? There's one grenade on Edward that can close the whole round.
Absolutely. One good Molotov. They don't have much HP to play with here. The HE just barely dodging them as well. And, well, now the time is forcing them. It's forcing their hand. 11 seconds, 10, and the bomb. There's the fake plant. The flash, perfectly done. Making excellent use of their grenades. And Edward will just win the fight straight up versus Crims. But that was some good awareness there from NaVi to just communicate, and before going for the peek, get the flash. When you have all of those nades, use them.
Incredibly scary. I was more satisfied with the version of where Flamey was standing behind the toll booth and just waiting there. As soon as he pushes up to the triple box, oh, that's a recipe for disaster. If he goes down, then Simple is going to start to walk in from connector, and he'll be smoked off, and then Fnatic get bomb plant easily, no problem at all. So the fact that Flamey just decided to hit all the headshots, like, well, 1 kill, but then 2 other headshots is a lot of work being done for him.
Yeah, it doesn't really seem like there is a weak point here for NaVi. Everybody seems to be able to hit their shots. It's fairly even across the board. Whereas Fnatic are definitely struggling on their side. Flusha, Olofmeister, and JW all sitting with 1 frag right now.
It is early days. Trying to get the shot through the smoke, and Guardian waiting on the other side. Flamey sees the angle over. He still can't win the fight against Dennis. That's interesting.
It's a gaff, a big one. That was a golden shot right there. Now
Yeah.
Edward's been boosted up, and this is a clever angle. Trying to peek and get as much information as possible. Not seeing anybody Delpan or below connector. And in the meantime, this is a rotation back over towards the A site for Fnatic. They have a single smoke grenade to work with right now.
Well, it's better be for Simple. He's at the ticket booth once again, and with the AWP, if you don't throw that smoke in, could tear your whole team apart. 47 seconds here. And there's also a rotation now coming in from Guardians of both the AWPs covering this bomb site, and 1 smoke. Oh no, Olofmeister's going to put it up, and it looks like it's actually not going to be for the bomb site itself. There's Simple, there's Guardian. They walk in before the smoke even blooms. Guardian again, and Simple. Oh my god.
It was like simultaneous as well. Simultaneous shots going out, and Fnatic just get murdered. Yeah, you can't be too happy about that if you're Fnatic. You're thinking that you were going to slow play your way out onto that site behind that smoke. Not going to happen. Not when NaVi are fired up. Simple's just like, it's so easy. I kill them all.
I mean, it's a great illustration of a round where the lack of smoke's really making it tricky. The smoke, by the way, was going to land for jungle, so it wouldn't even have blocked off anybody, but it's, you need all that utility, otherwise the double orb is way too powerful, especially when it's Guardian and Simple picking him up. 5-1 is the scoreline, and Fnatic's economy broken for a moment here. I would say Fnatic are not a team that's well known at all for using their timeouts well. I think they're one of those teams that sort of power through and keep forcing it a bit.
Yeah.
I love it if they could just do one and just sort of figure out how to keep going here.
Well, those were the days of Pronax. That's when they were very powerful with their timeouts. And
Yeah.
Take a timeout. Oh, all of a sudden they just run it back 10 rounds in a row. You're right. Ooh, seized. Wins the duel versus Crims. Headshot there. This is an anti-eco for NaVi, and so kind of want to see the rifles getting more of these kills instead of the ops. $100 a frag is not good. But hard eco from Fnatic, so we really should just expect to see them get cut down in waves.
There's a good economy that's beginning to be built here on the NaVi side. It's like 6,000 on Guardian, almost 6 on Edward, 4.5 on Seized. Definitely looking more respectable. Flusha, the last one alive. Bit of a weird fight going on at the end of the round, but ultimately going to be more successful NaVi as they push their way to 6-1. And we make our way into the 8th round here.
And here we are. This has got to be the timeout called by Fnatic, and there it is, exactly right. Jumpy deciding enough is enough. It's 6-1. We have the big buy round here.
Yeah.
We will have some nades to work with. What is going to be the solution? And right now,
I mean, there's a lot of options to choose for Fnatic. At least they're not in a position where they've tried everything and, you know, nothing is working. And there's very many options. Something that I would have... Well, it's hard to know. This is one of the problems of Counter-Strike. It's very easy for us to sort of see some of the patterns. But an open question now is, have Fnatic realized that NaVi are holding very far back on the A-bomb side? They're not pushed up into apartments. They're not in Shadow. They're not in Sandwich, right? They're not even holding close to the A-ramp or anything. They're back at Ticket Booth. They're back at Connector and Jungle. If you have that, if someone is, you know, and there could be anybody, you know, saying, well, actually, I think they're doing that every round now, then you can get just the default A execute. Get the bomb down, get everything working like that. But it's a question of whether or not you have the intel for it, and maybe right now they don't. They certainly seem to be setting up for more of a mid-type play. Simple and Guardian have only died once each. That might change now. Oh my god! He does not even touch the ground before he's dead.
Yeah. Doesn't know what hit him. And a first man, Dennis had already made it across to the boxes. But Simple just so aggressive with his mid-pressure. And this is the kind of freedom that you were talking about, though, Anders. Is that right now, NaVi, on CT side, it is important that you get that freedom for that Opper. And it looks like Simple's the one who gets to go into mid and look for these plays.
Oh, I like this way more. He's definitely getting... They've loosened up the leash a bit on Simple. He's got a bit more room to work with. That's good news. Again, on A, just... worth noticing they're so far back. The push is going to be for B instead. Molotov comes out, and oh no! They're standing in the middle of it. A lot of damage being put in. Guardian with a shot as well. Olofmeister and Dennis. They need some kills. They need to start doing some damage here. And finally, Guardian goes down. Dennis with a kill as well on Simple. Spray comes in from Seized, and Dennis is just in a world of trouble here. 3 men coming for him, every single angle. Seized in charge of the triple. It's going to make it 7-1, favoring NaVi.
Wow, and just in the nick of time, they saved both AWPs as well for NaVi. So they don't even have that joy, Fnatic, of really, you know, tapping into NaVi's bank. Both of the key rifles get picked up at just the last possible second. And, well, I mean, even saving the ops, I mean, they're so filthy rich right now, NaVi. So Fnatic, they have such a difficult task on their hands. 7-1, the lockdown completely in effect now for NaVi. Fnatic going for the half-buy with the Tech-9s. And again, pressure at mid here for Fnatic. And it's just straight up connector, perhaps straight out onto the A side, counting on Flusha perhaps to create some kind of diversion. But then the collateral, so much damage from Simple. And he spots a man on stairs, and of course it's going to be an easy shot.
And Guardian hit the first shot through the smoke on Olaf as well. It's ridiculous, but nice comeback here. Flusha getting a kill on Flamey. 3-on-3, obviously all the health and rifles favoring NaVi here to make it 8-1. Now it's just Flusha left, and he's at least going to get a kill on Edward. I mean, as a major player, Flusha is definitely up there.
As a clutch player
as a clutch player too, yes. Now would be one hell of a time to bring that quality to life.
He has no nades, though. And Guardian's got the angle here. Unbelievable. Hits the headshot regardless, and now it's into the 1v1. Seized is holding close to the connector. Will Flusha be able to figure this out? Seems to have an idea of it that he could be luring. Oh my god, the whooping headshot from Flusha! Lifted, let's go. Right there, quad kill, and the 1v2 clutch in the end. Flusha, you monster. 1v3, he kills Edward as well.
That's really quite far out there. I don't know what world we're living in any longer. Maybe it is all just a simulation. 7-2. That's one of the maddest things I've seen in a very long time. I mean, even counting in the madness from the earlier games. 7-2, 10th round coming up here. Guardian trying again for the blind shot, this time not connecting. NaVi giving up a big round there. Edward trying for the refract, but JW is a teammate helping out, making sure that Dennis stays alive. Simple is covering the angle, but he's going to get grenaded back, and it's a quite good grenade.
Yeah, I like that grenade a lot from Wolfmeister.
Oh.
Dead on, and right on the edge of the smoke, seized. Doesn't even know it hit him. Crim's instantly out onto the B site. Guardian, however, playing from short. Does he realize this? Yes, he holds. He continues to hold, but yeah, he has no idea. Crims is out on the site already. There's nowhere to go.
Yeah, if Crims had looked all the way left, that would have been Guardian dead in a second, but instead he takes one with him. Simple needs some great cross shots here. He actually does the double take and takes down JW instead. 2 versus 3. They're still sticking around. Can they get the retake in? A lot of damage being output now by Fnatic. They have every chance to win this and turn the first half back. Maybe they could start to get into it. There's a great double P. Crims and Olofmeister both. NaVi's economy suffering heavily from this loss. Fnatic, the timeout, the comeback, starting to build the rounds.
Absolutely. Well, they still have 9,000 in the bank on Edward, so they can still drop some guns here, and it's not the end of the world for NaVi. It's just a question of whether or not it's going to be an AWP that's dropped for Guardian or for Simple, or if they're going to try and prioritize the rifles. 2 FAMASs would do the trick as well.
Yeah, I mean, with this big of a lead, you could give Fnatic 4 rounds, you know? Give them 4, then aim for the 11th. Well, Edward. Are they really going to continue to put the pressure on?
Clever. He's just so... This is like a hero buy, basically.
Yeah, I guess. It's all right. I mean, it's sort of risk-free to try and do this.
Simple just had a read. He just knew what was up. But, yeah, this is going to be just the hero M4. A few pistols dropped for NaVi, and we'll see. I mean, they've got Guardian, they've got Simple. Both of these guys are to be insane with the Deagle. But Fnatic not out of the woods. And it looks like Fnatic are interested in hitting that B site. JW already scoped up, and it's only seized and flamey here. Although Edward is rotating quick, and in fact, it looks like NaVi are shifting this over into a B stack.
Yeah, they are. And they got the boost again, just like from the pistol round, but flamey goes down immediately. Now they're getting onto the site quick. Seized gets the one and done. Olofmeister with a double kill. Flusha turning up as well. And Guardian can't even escape this position. Going to be going down. Nice execute from Fnatic. Decisive again, following through. Like, there's no hesitation at all here. That's what you want to see. Now back to the double AWP for NaVi. 7-4. We have a game, ladies and gentlemen. We've got it going on here. It's looking sketchy for them. It looked like Fnatic were just going to get blown up, but not so for the Swedish team. They're going to keep fighting.
Never say die. Let's see just the state of things here. It is going to be the AWP, and Edward with the AWP to start things off. That was a little confusing. Hands it back over to Simple. And JW very quickly into pit. Takes a lot of nade damage, but if you can convert this into a kill, this would be huge. The only issue is that Simple now changes it up. It's going to be the smoke, and JW, no reward here, unless he barely spots out Simple. That was right on the edge.
It's really clever play. flamey, who's been doing a great job on this A-bomb side, defending it. Picking up a quick headshot, but Olofmeister, actually, he's coming in from the apartments. Crim's also sneaking into jungle here, and Simple trying to make the cross on over. They are all ready to take this bomb site. Crim's getting a kill. Simple with the refrag on Olof, dropping the bomb and buying more time for NaVi to get into this retake. It's 3-on-3. The bomb being picked up now. Flusha making a lot of noise, and Simple sneaking in with the AWP right on the edge of the smoke. This is so dangerous. Did they hear the scope? Flusha trying to fall back. The bomb is planted, but there's Simple sneaking in with a kill. What a risk to take. The grenade dead on Crim's head. And now JW goes down to Guardian. A great retake here for NaVi. That's such a risk for Simple to take.
Absolutely, but it works. And he makes it look easy in the end. Calls it perfectly. You think that somewhere he is thinking that he can actually push past that smoke and pick the man off on the site, but instead the patience, he is rewarded for it. 2 key frags for Simple in that retake. It turns out that NaVi are also capable of going for the double op retake and making it look good. So no problems at all. 8-4. And well, Fnatic just got their bells rung. Is JW going to recommit with the AWP here? Is he feeling it? And it doesn't look like it. It's looking like it's going to be more of an explosive strategy coming through here for the Swedes.
This is such brilliant play from Simple. What a madman. 14 kills as well. He's doubling the kills of anybody right now on Fnatic. This is why he's considered one of the most aggressive and dangerous players in the world, if not even best. 13 rounds in. Edward boosted up, trying to look over the smoke. Just there's a lot of smokes here. What?
Thing is that if he jumps up here, no, Dennis isn't on Delpan, so that's not going to be an issue. Eventually, there's Olaf, and Olaf, what a shot!
He read that very well. Dennis trying to hug the wall and not expose himself to that ticket booth where you've got to be careful as well. Simple is there, but also Flamey holding both on the same spot. Fnatic right now have a great opening. There's a bit of an aggressive setup from Guardian over here, so if he can get the first kill, and he can indeed, taking down JW. Oh man, that makes things a bit tricky now. Dennis, though, could still crack it wide open. Easy kill on Flamey. Now NaVi have a tough decision to make. Like, how do they rotate behind this? They know Dennis is covering jungle, so retaking A is going to be tricky. Maybe it'll all come down to Simple again.
Yeah, and the Oppers really are the backbone of NaVi right now. And Simple has shown that he is more than capable. A shot, a distraction? Are you kidding? How next level is that? There's no way that Olaf takes a shot from pit to distract him. That would be too good.
No chance. I mean, 1 kill from Dennis, just sneaking into connector, getting the kill on Flame, and that's it. They're locked in at that point in time. Only thing that could work out is if Simple would have got like a double kill or maybe even more than that. Very interesting. 5 rounds for Fnatic. We'll see what happens now. If they can keep on to the rifles here on the NaVi side, because they desperately need them. They've got no money at all in the bank. A bit on Guardian, but considering that we're nearing the end of the half, you want to save these rifles desperately. They can make the difference. Well, one of them isn't going to be saved. Seized will at least get to keep his, but not what they were looking for here. Wow.
No, when you're talking about the Oppers being the backbone of a team and then you lose the op, that's a little unfortunate. Now Guardian, I mean, he is a terror with the rifles as well, but that one-shot kill potential, that's what they need right now. They have it in the form of an AK, but you really want to see Simple and Guardian re-equipped. 8-5, and Fnatic, of course, fighting back, never giving up. And well, I mean, Edward has had a rough time so far. These past few rounds, he is just losing all of his duels.
Seized the AK on the bomb side. That's just too many targets. JW will run him down. 3 versus 4. And they're doing a fine job at the moment trying to see if they can get the last couple of rounds in here in the first half. 8-5 right now. Very well done. Some pistols were picked up in this round for the NaVi team, so they had a chance, but they just weren't expecting that kind of speed out of the Swedish side. We're going into the 15th round here. They'll have enough money on Guardian, I think, to buy the AWP, so that's good news. Simple is very low on cash. That's a big issue. Edward, oh, if he could save the AK, that would be nothing short of perfect, and I think he will be able to, so that one they need, because otherwise Simple has nothing in the next round. That's huge.
These are the kinds of saves that will actually make the difference. You're right, Simple, now he can have an AK or an M4. It's probably just going to be the M4 handed over to him. But that's fine. And they will have to buy last round of this first half, 8-6. NaVi desperate to get that 9th round on the board. And they have the tools. They're very light on nades, that's for sure. But they have that op on Guardian. In the meantime, Olafmeister is taking over the opping duties for Fnatic. He's got the spawn for Pit as well. Is he going to go for it? Is he going to be that bold? No, the flash, perfectly timed, forces him back. But in mid, the action is coming through. Edward barely making it out.
Oh, he's in a lot of trouble. Grenade there to finish him off. Getting caught just a bit. Flame here on connector. They're right next to him. He's got some backup in Simple, but this is a really big commitment for NaVi. Fighting close range could go horribly wrong. Jump there to spot out Flusher. That's very clever. Simple now. Flash in. Is Flamey going to peek behind it as well? The flash is there, and Simple gets the kill on Dennis and escapes. JW trying to peek it, but Simple with another headshot, low on health. He still makes it work, and now it's all on Crims. They know that Flamey is there, and they can't punish it. Bomb is dropped as well.
Minute left for Crims to work with. Simple on 1 HP. But, yeah, this is going to be tough for Crims. He gets to kind of contemplate the meaning of life right now for a while. And what you do in a 1v4 with 50 seconds versus a fired up NaVi.
Simple's got 1 health and he's waiting for the triple. Looking the right way, and there it is. Absolutely great read from him. 17 kills for him as well, I believe, at the end of this first half. That's just a hell of a lot. How do you deal with that? Fnatic have nobody that's batting in this range right now. Absolutely nobody. Him and Guardian are running away with the game. Seized. We talked about this. Him not having good games in the group stage. Him having a bit of a hard time. He's playing very well too. Right behind Guardian. Let's see what happens here. 9-6 in the first half. I think the main takeaway is that Fnatic did enough. They did not get swept. They bought themselves plenty of chances here.
Yeah, they saw their opportunity. They managed to weaken Navi's mind. Their mental game suffered on Navi's side, and Fnatic definitely took advantage of it. 9-6, and we count down into the second half. Crims going for the kit, as per usual with the smoke. And it's going to be Guardian going for the utility here on Navi's side. Kit, well, no. Kevlar picked up for Simple. Let's see. B-Rush. YOLO.
With the smokes and the flashbangs, it's not at all a bad idea. 1 good smoke down and then the flashbangs to follow. Looks like they're going to put the smoke down towards Catwalk instead. That could get interesting. Does land, flashbang is in. What the hell is going on? Dennis, what are you doing? Another headshot taking down Flamey. Is he an actual robot now? Guardian and Simple and left. There's no recovery from this. Someone get on the vac system and check what's going on. That's so mad. Guardian just... The bomb is over there, but they have to cross. Crims hitting a headshot. You would never want to peek this angle again, and Olofmeister takes a headshot as well. Mother of God, what did we just see?
Dennis is ridiculous. And this is where I'm really happy that you have the delay, Anders, because we get to watch it again.
I don't know if I want to see that one more time.
Dude, nah, that's so fast. Dennis is unbelievable. He got the 1 kill for Fnatic in the pistol round in the first half. But that... It's like, yeah. He's just that fast. Seized.
That is out of this world, isn't it?
It's so sick to watch him play with pistols, man. USPs all day for Dennis. Well, Fnatic, this bodes well for them. They've picked up the pistol. They're primed to lock down this second round as well. Crims and Flusha making a bit of noise over there on the A site. In the meantime, Edward sees Guardian. It looks like it's going to be through that connector that they want to go, Flamey and Simple. With the bomb still back in T-spawn. Just looking for that opening pick here. Who's going to overstep on Fnatic's side?
Well, now the game is most definitely on. It was looking so bad for Fnatic. They've brought it right back. This is amazing. Very likely they can tie up the scoreline here, make it 9-9. Now, then they have the rifles. They've got the AWP probably at that point on JW. Like, the path is cleared for them right now to do a great job. Crims goes for the fight. Oh, Flamey waiting on the other side, though, with the Deagle. Going to be able to take him down. Flusher takes some time, but he will get the kill. Flamey wants to run in and punish it. That's actually a great idea, but unable to for this particular fight. Oh, Flamey with a headshot. Flamey with 1 more headshot. Triple Deagle kill. He's got a couple of bullets left. Finally has to reload, but now they know where Flusher is. Simple gets a kill. It's falling apart, and how could it even be true? JW goes down to Edward, and NaVi fight their way back. I'm blown away by this game. How does day 4 start off like this?
We're just talking about some of the most skilled teams in the world, Anders. We're getting the joy of watching some of the finest craftsmen ply their trade. And in this case, headshots with the Deagle, Flamey, they were beautiful. And Crims is going to be sick just because he is the one he oversteps looking for that fight, and it all rolls out of control from there. And now it's Fnatic who are the ones who are going for the force buy here. JW prioritizing the op. It looks like he's holding on to a bit of cash, but the rest of them, they've thrown everything into this.
Just Flamey before that round had 7 kills. Now he's up to 10. So you one round like that to probably, I mean, at least likely change the outcome of the match. Like that's insane.
That's like, again, what's happening here is weird. The pistol round 1. And for a while, their teams were getting so good at dealing with the anti-ecos. But again, we see the situation where you win the pistol and then you just get hard reset immediately. So now, quite a bit of pressure here on the Swedes to stay alive in this. Guardian is going to walk right into Olofmeister. Sure, it turns out that Olofmeister can hit Deagle shots as well. Finds the headshot on Guardian to start. He will get caught by Simple, however. And so they bring it right back to a 4-on-4 here, NaVi. They still have control.
And they had him locked in with Seized and Underpass. And the smoke in windows, so Seized could actually push up there. So there's at least NaVi are getting refrags here, which is important. It was a bit scary. Oh, JW at the edge. Just a USP. As the smoke was fading, that's got to be annoying.
Why not? Crims with the 5-7 up close from Shadow as well can just do so much damage here. He's got a flash. Flash to work with, but he gets caught going up the balcony. Will he be able to get the flash out in time? Yes, of course. Oh, Flamey turns back into it. Crims had a chance, but he doesn't realize that he stays pinned in there, and now it's only a matter of time until he gets weeded out. But this has caused time here for rotations from Fnatic. They're into CT now, Dennis and Flusha, both of them looking for a chance.
Looks like they want to boost on top of that box, and you could definitely do that, but not too much effect this time. NaVi, even though it's a 3-on-3 in a pretty good position, JW, though, has picked up an M4 in the middle. He doesn't have any armor, but he does have a Molotov as well that he's stolen, and he's going to get the first kill right now. Goes for a bit more. Oh, he didn't see Edward, otherwise he could have used the Molotov to force him out. Flusha gets a headshot on one, and he's got the kit. Can he fake him out? He's going to go straight for the defuse, and Edward is not really realizing he's offered again. Flusha, he could have won the round already. Now he's going to go for the fight, and he does it anyway! Flusha with the C75, another classic, and another round for Fnatic, bringing it back. Oh my god, this game, it's got everything right now. Just a quick point. When Crims is hiding there in shadow, I'm kind of shocked that they don't just wallbang him down. I think people make the mistake of thinking that box is a really thick one, and it isn't. That box is paper thin. It isn't like solid wood all the way. It's just like
2 planks.
Yeah, it's just like 2 planks with air in. So even with a Glock, you can shoot through it, and it does a lot of damage. So sort of shocked that he was allowed to live that long. But anyway, 10-8 at the 19th round. What a roller coaster this is.
Yeah, Fnatic giving us a little bit of a history lesson here. Do you remember, NaVi, how it used to be? We force every round, and we win.
Yeah, NaVi probably have PTSD from that experience already, so don't want to go back there. Crims hiding by the ticket booth. The Swedish team really giving us a lot of action here. Flamey now in sandwich, pushed up quite far. Aggressive round coming out of NaVi here with limited equipment. Flamey with a double spray. They stand right in front. And Dennis and Flusha are already down and out. Flamey wants more, but JW put an end to the madness for the moment at least. Olofmeister picking up, Seized Edward, who managed to sneak his way into jungle. And now, great open bomb plant here. A great opportunity for NaVi to win this round. Surely, are they just going to keep trading rounds?
It's going to go back and forth, mate. Although JW does find the shot on the Guardian. 2-on-2 now. Bomb is a ticking. Then they have the kit alive on Crims. But Simple, what an angle from him. Just holding right on the edge. Gets the headshot on JW. Not going to be able to flick it onto Crims. But still, Edward's got full HP, and Crims knows that he needs to hit a sick shot right now. Trying to bait some kind of reaction here out of Edward. And sure enough, Edward's going to walk right into it. And it's another clutch for Fnatic. Thank you, PGL, for showing us the reactions there. Seized. Speaks a lot with his hands. And you saw it right there that you know they thought they had it. And there it is, the timeout.
This is too much, isn't it? I can hardly believe it. The wallbang shot from JW to take down Guardian through the box, and then that little trick there at the end from Crims.
It's Edward. Edward just peeks right into it. It's not Edward's day.
He probably is just thinking, I just want to see if he's actually defusing or not, right?
Yeah,
like
the flash to cover the sound.
Yeah, he's not thinking about the AWP probably, especially because he's playing Crims, so at this kind of a beginning...
Flash, they just gotta...
It's just impossible to predict the outcome of these rounds. It's just so mad. Olaf getting fired up. Everybody's excited now. The scoreline is 10-9, slightly favoring NaVi, but if you take economy into the account, it's almost nothing here. They're going to force into the round. They got the double AK, they got the Tech 9 to the Deagle. NaVi want to keep the fight. They want to keep this level up. And it looks like it might be another quick round. And a bit of an issue potentially for Crims, who's standing by that triple box. It's way out in the open. If they rush him down and smoke off everything else, he's going to have too much on his hands.
Yeah, he's got nowhere to go. But it looks like that was the signal to go. The smokes are already heading out onto the site, and Krim's now crouched in the corner. He is alone. He is on an island right now. JW, all he can do is try and put shots through and hope that he can help his mate out, get the timing right, but it's not going to be enough here. NaVi, behind the flashes, go barreling in, and it's on Krims now. 1 for 1. That's what he's looking for, and he's not even going to get that. Flamey finds him first.
So many openings brought to you by Flamey at this point in time. Not that long ago, a rising superstar himself, but he's made it all the way at least a couple of times. Edward holding behind with a Deagle. Flusher. Looks like he's got the angle dead. Oh my god! Edward still gets the kill, and Simple's going down next to Dennis. It's a 4 versus 3. That bomb ticking, and it's planted in a great position here. Very hard to retake if you're Fnatic. Dennis trying to see if he can sneak his way in. Olaf Meister just with the FAMAS, and now gonna come jumping right down the ladder. Dennis is gone, but he did there a little bit. Olaf with the kill on 1. JW missing the shot. He's not gonna have many more chances, and Olaf Meister picks up another one, but they don't have time for the defuse. They have to run. NaVi win it back. They're just trading rounds all over this place. This second half is just the ultimate roller coaster ride. Hope nobody has motion sickness at home, because this is going to go out of control now. 11-9.
But for those who have a long memory, they remember when it used to be this fierce, this close, back and forth, 4 spies left and right, and never really knowing who was going to come out on top until somebody finally got their backs broken.
The aim punch. How is that even possible? I didn't even think about that, but he got aim punched.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, man. It's like this is just chaotic. I'm not going to say it's as good as it gets, but it is definitely pretty good.
No, we don't want to call that yet, because some of the, potentially some of the most fiery matchups are coming later today. I mean, this is supposed to be the early slow and start, you know, to get the teams that have been struggling in the group and, you know, see how they do. And then every single match is down to the wire. All of them just so tense. NaVi and Fnatic both fighting to stay alive in the major tournament. This is, well, almost too much excitement. Fnatic going for more aggressive setup over on A. So Sandwich and Shadow. That means they have very limited mid control, and that's, if NaVi can figure this out in the next 15 seconds, they don't have much time, but then they can exploit it, try and get the crunch on the B or A bomb side for that matter.
40 seconds left, though. Now the pressure into mid from Guardian and Edward. Trying to see if they can sow some discord here. Misinformed Fnatic on what is going to happen next. The smoke goes down top connector, though. That's going to be a bit of a signal here. Fnatic, you can see JW starting to inch back towards towards the window. He needs to actually get back in through kitchen. Flush is rotating as well, and the push is about to begin with only 20 seconds left. Point blank sees doing work. It's actually Dennis who finds a headshot. He trades places.
Through the smoke, he's still got some bullets there. Flusher gets a kill. Now we're going to be turning around. Dennis gets a shot with the AK, and it's all done somehow. Fnatic come out on top. This is unbelievable. They have the C-set 75 in apartments and B hallways down on a catwalk. Olaf is holding with a FAMAS.
Yeah.
If the B crunch comes, that's almost as bad as it gets if you're Fnatic. And they still come out with a win, making it 11-10.
It's that late, though. That one smoke, it just gave away so much. Fnatic instantly reacted as soon as they see that smoke go down top of connector as well. So you're just blocking it out, not jungle, not nothing like that.
When we get back in the game, if we bring up the scoreboard once the timeout is done, you'll see that the rounds just go back and forth. I mean, at one point, Fnatic won 2 consecutive rounds, but then it just trading again and again and again.
Oh, and this is it.
NaVi, though, they didn't get the bomb plant down. Forcing now would be probably a mistake.
Exactly. And this is it.
But wait, Guardian and Flamey buying Deagles? I guess they know they maybe have to go for more of an eco anyway.
they're trying to hedge, I guess, versus 2. I mean, with how close these rounds have been. Look at this. Now we're getting Kevlars, we're getting smokes.
Wow.
What is this round?
Oh, wow.
They're all over the place right now. They're committed to the double eco now. Unless they can get a bomb plant, they're going to be very limited, and Fnatic have a chance to take the lead here, 11-10 in favor of NaVi. But Fnatic, they can tie it up, unless Edward gets the shot on Dennis, getting greedy, going for the peek and underpass. Perfect headshot angle there for Edward to take advantage of.
4 versus 5, Simple managed to sneak his way in. It looks like flusha is well aware that something is up, and he's going to call in for backup from JW. Almost getting jumped there. Nice refrag from C's, though. Will give NaVi an edge. They also have the AK now. Oh no. If this keeps going back and forth, as a general rule, the CT side is going to lose out more heavily than the T side. They need more equipment, and their guns are a bit more expensive. Olofmeister, perfect position to take care of Edward. He's going to do that now. Flamey next in line, and he's going to get it. A great double for Olof. He survives on a single point of health. But he's got the bomb somewhere over there. He doesn't really realize that yet, but... Oh, wait. Seized? Oh, he's managed to sneak his way in. Missed shot from JW. Don't ever do that again.
There's a chance. There's a chance. And in the meantime, Guardian is working his way through CT. Sadly, he Crim spots him. This should be a dead Guardian in just a moment. The Haven Punch works out, and JW finds a shot on Seized over on the B site. And there was a chance, there was a dream there for a moment, NaVi, hoping to be able to capitalize off of Edward and Seized's frags, but it just wasn't enough. And so, actually, a fairly decent anti-eco there for Fnatic. And so they can get just a little bit of breathing room when it comes to the money.
That's going to tie up the scoreline. 11-11. NaVi, they can keep forcing if they want, but at this point, I would say just bank on all the rest of it. Get the AEW key if you can, or at least the AKs. The stubbornness of Fnatic have paid off. They've really had their heads under the water for a very long time in this match, and now finally, it seems like they're able to breathe just a little bit. Simple in the middle, no chance at all here. The Swedes are fighting back. Some of the best Counter-Strike in the world is absolutely and always has been Swedish. All right, now we're seeing a good example of why that is. Simple, all they have to do is play around the bomb. It's in the A-bomb side, just he has to go and pick it up eventually. Wait for that to happen.
The messed up smoke, though. Could that give him some time, some kind of chance to work with here? He has a minute. And now he's up connector as well. flusha going to go for the peek. He's recovered the AWP, and that should pretty much end it. Yep. Goes for the peek. Easy shot there for Simple, who's trying to bait out a reaction.
24 kills on Simple as well, so he's doing just a lot of work. He's 10 kills ahead of anybody else on his team.
He's been there for a while, though, you know? Like, he's been at the 20s for a good long while now. And so it's tough to see that he's tapping out just a little bit.
Yeah, but still.
I mean, yeah, it's just like, okay, he's doing really good because he's above the 20s, but like, where are the rest of his team to back him up? The Guardian, the Flamey. We need Edward as well.
12-11. Fnatic again putting consecutive rounds on the ball. That's 3 in a row for them. It's been a lot of force-ups from NaVi to try and keep the pressure on now. Well, that's one hell of a grenade. Edward down to 48. Not the best way to get started. Flamey also down to 60 here. If Fnatic can win this round, they might just cruise into a victory here. I mean, again, mind-bending Counter-Strike. NaVi, they want to move on, obviously. They need to win 5 more rounds here to make it a bit further and knock Fnatic out of the tournament. For right now, Fnatic are putting on their foot and saying that's not going to happen. No, sir. Bit of a lonely defender over at the A side, which is Crim's down in shadow. He's getting a bit of backup in JW. So this setup is really great. I like this setup because once JW fires the AWP, it becomes very hard and all your focus is on that. And then the double push into B apartments on the other side. Fnatic, they're rolling the dice right now, and I think they might come up with a very, very good result.
Yeah, this was some classic Fnatic going for the aggressive pushes on the extremities of the map. Olofmeister now going to be way back in T-spawn so early on, and Dennis, he's just going to catch Seized unawares. No way that Seized expects somebody to come up from behind him like this, and sure enough, there's the opening kill. That's NaVi's signal to go and try and get in there, but Crim's point blank will drop Flamey, and this is looking fantastic now for Fnatic. The spray in from Dennis as well, and it's just kills left and right. NaVi Well, there's always going to be Simple to find his frags, sure enough, but it's not enough here.
Completely outplayed. No other way to put it. 2 seconds left, and at least he gets a kill. Simple, please don't peek this any longer. That is not a good idea. He's going to be able to live through the round, and it will be Fnatic at 11 to 13 of them. This is just incredible. And the risk that it is to push in like that into the apartments. Definitely very scary. Allowed them to do everything they needed to do. But now we had no idea. It's the last tactical timeout being called here for the CIS team.
You have to go for it now.
They got to keep the focus really high.
I mean, this is Andy, basically, the coach, the analyst for NaVi, who's behind him right now. This is his chance to have a bit of a chat and see what they can do differently here. Or is it just a chance to breathe? No, it is Andy talking a lot here.
Well, time is almost out. Whatever it is they've come up with, it's going to be one hell of a strategy or one hell of a call, because they are near the end of the rope. Fnatic have such a good lead on their hands. They've got the economy, and NaVi just, they really don't have a lot. They're going to invest into this round. Simple obviously saving the AK-47. They've got 3 smokes and a Molotov, so is this going to be the time when it finally works for them, the strat to crack open the A-bomb site?
Double HE. Oh man, Guardian is counting his lucky stars. That was a fun setup there. Well, still, now it is going to be on NaVi. The nades go sailing in. They've got the flashes as well. Guardian waiting for his signal to go, but of course an incendiary is going to go down, buying a little bit more time here for Fnatic, delaying things further. The rest of NaVi waiting behind Guardian, and these smokes, they're ticking away. They will start clearing here in a moment's time. And Crims, there we go, finally collects his frag.
Bomb is being planted in front, and Crim's trying to guess the angle, but at least that much has been accomplished. They're Simple with one, seized with the next, and they're challenging JW, who's already got the one. A headshot as well, taking down Edward. Again, JW with a triple, and Simple, the last one left out in the open. Quad kill, and JW shutting out NaVi. One step closer to victory, and one step closer to knocking out NaVi here. 14-11. What an amazing quad kill there. Just point perfect. Every single peak is exactly how you would want it. Puts him up to 17 kills as well.
Yeah, they're so even across the board over on Fnatic. I mean, they're ahead in rounds, but everybody is within a frag of each other. 3 on 17, 2 on 16. It's kind of silly. Whereas everybody but Simple is at 14 frags on NaVi. Simple getting those exits, man, it makes the difference.
Once you pick up those 2 kills towards jungle, you think that's it. You know, just JW close range with the AWP, we can surely take him out. But it doesn't work out like that. Dennis, a bit scary for the moment, but Crims is there with a great kill. Now he's in a lot of trouble trying to dodge. He still does an incredible amount of damage. Flamey's got one in return. There's Flusher going down to Guardian. The action is resumed. There's no pauses anymore now. They've just got to go all in here. And now we are fighting for their lives after being ahead for so long in this match. Finally, Fnatic have taken them over, and it's a 3-on-3. The bomb still sneaking its way out. Guardian getting taken down by Olofmeister, and now they're blocked in. Seized with a good headshot, and Olof still fighting here. Dennis is down, and now it's all on Olof.
Why are they fighting? Why are they fighting? The questions here. They had the nade spear. They had everything there, Fnatic, to play it quiet and to let NaVi hang themselves. NaVi had no nades left to get onto that bomb site. Instead, Fnatic feeling like perhaps they had it within their hands there, within their grasp to end this match. They look for the duels, and that gives NaVi another chance. AWP Sage for Guardian. And well, all the bank is gone again for Fnatic. All of that nice cushion they've been developing this whole time. And once again, we find ourselves in a situation where both of these teams are pretty much dead even.
The ride was going so smoothly for the Swedes. It was just sunshine, and everything was working out great, and JW trying to get them back on that same track here, taking down Guardian. It's going to be the smoke for jungle from Edward. Might be able to put a bit of pressure on Fnatic on this side. Flusher wants to get back and make sure no one is being boosted into the window here. So they've got the mid control, yes, but they're also down a man, and that's going to be a problem.
Using a lot of their utility here. They only have the 2 smokes left after that play. Smoke just now clearing a connector means that Flamey can start poking around over here, seeing if anybody was holding aggressive. That's not the case. Fnatic and JW gets the peak. Toll booth play down into connector, finds Flamey, and a 2-man advantage now for Fnatic in this key round for NaVi. All 3 members now for NaVi pretty much need to just go together. Seized is all the way over in B Apartments. He couldn't be farther out of the action right now than if he was in the middle of Siberia.
And Crimson Shadow, JW by the ticket booth. This is the same setup as previously. It works so well. They have to get rid of JW. Oh, no.
Seized that one nade that he just threw. He just threw a smoke. Look at this rotation. Over-rotating by Fnatic.
Yeah. Crim's buying time to bring it back, but you're absolutely right. That was about to be a fatal mistake. Crim's Molotov out the ass to peak, and he almost takes down Edward, but Fnatic, did they give too much? Was that the one mistake that they just could not afford to make? Grenades are now in, and JW trying to get on top of the box here. 10 seconds left. Where's the bomb plant going to come from? Finally, they're trying to make it happen. Flusher gets one, but the bomb is planted at least. And Simple, he's been the hero round after round, and he might just have to do it again. It's a 1-on-4 for Simple. There's one flick, taking down Flusher. They're coming in from every angle. He's out in the open, looking for the one kill. There's a second, trying to see if he can pick up the AK. Instead, it's a 1-on-2. He sprays, and oh! He's going to go down. Dennis to clutch the round for Fnatic. It's so close, but not close enough. 15 rounds for Fnatic. One more, and they're going to knock NaVi out. Oh, my God.
Anything is possible when it comes to Simple. 10 HP left. That's all that man had on Fnatic's side. But it is match point now for Fnatic. 15-12. And NaVi, it's now or never. This is the mid duel between JW and Guardian at the beginning. JW just too quick. When JW, it looked like he was feeling it in the beginning, in the first half, when Fnatic were on T side. He actually let the op go back over to Olofmeister here on the CT side. You can tell there's a bit more of a comfort level. And now NaVi, they're done with A. It's time to head over towards this B site. 4 players on A for Fnatic right now. Crims and Flusha pushing aggressive, and Pit and Palace leaves Olofmeister alone with the FAMAS.
Yeah, but they're going to realize any second now. Every second that ticks is working against NaVi at the moment. This really aggressive setup is killing NaVi. Oh, 3 men rotating in now. It's going to be more even then.
Smoke goes down bottom connector as well. And Flusha is spotting for this, but now begins the push. Olofmeister, Dennis, and JW, all 3 of them here on the B site. Crims is going to be flanking very quickly now, and it's all on NaVi. Can they find the opening kill? No, it's Dennis to deliver, but Guardian is there to trade. They know where Dennis is playing from, but he still takes another with him. And JW misses the shot. There it was, the key.
That might have done it. There's still a secondary option, which is flank. That's going to be coming in from Crims. He's hot on their heels now. With the bomb down and clock ticking, they're just waiting for him. He can't make too much noise. He has to sort of walk a bit slowly. He's checking all the corners, and it is taking quite a while here. More time than I would prefer at the moment. NaVi holding on to their tournament lives here against Fnatic, who have just embarked on an epic comeback. There's Flusha getting the kill on C's. Not much left now. Simple gets another one, but he's trapped in the corner. He's going to go down, and Fnatic will make their way through 16-12 against NaVi, knocking them out of the tournament and extending their own lives just a bit further. What a team and what a story. We were definitely doubting them, and they showed us that was a big mistake. Swedish Counter-Strike is still alive, ladies and gentlemen. It's still here.
Unbelievable that this roster is still able to accomplish so much by staying alive in the tournament, by dashing NaVi's hopes on the ground. Ruthless. And while you can tell the disappointment, a lot of shining eyes over there on NaVi's side. And while they got so far in Cologne as well, and you could tell that they were shattered at their loss there, and to not make it out of the groups here at the Major, this is a disaster for NaVi.
Absolutely is. Laughs there on the Fnatic side. Obviously, the tension's so high. There was 100 different ways that could have been the other way. Just look at the beginning of this half, where they're just trading rounds left and right. All of the time, it's down to 2v2s, 1v1s. Simple ending up at, I think, 30 or 29 kills or something like that. He did everything that he could. Like, there's not much left in him, you know.
He got a lot of exits, we'll put it that way. I mean, he did do a lot of fragging.
Yeah, like, I mean, just you put that many kills on the board, there's not much left, you know. He gave everything that he could there.
You got to do something.
16-12, and it is Fnatic moving on, and NaVi saying goodbye for the major tournament this time.
Yeah.
There
is the man you were speaking of, Karn.
Yes.
He's here with his boys. Veteran, one of the great in-game leaders of 1.6 in Swedish CS.
Yeah, always be careful about getting him talking about that. We'll never stop, you know, the 1.6 days.
No, they'll never go anywhere. The thing is that we need more like source days to talk about as well, right?
Do we?
It's only because Vendetta is in
I'm
here.
biased, yeah. Well, we've got Henry as well. We've got plenty of people here. Got a few flaring on the desk as well. And speaking of the desk, they should be ready now. It's another heartbreaking moment. Paul, take us through it, please.
Indeed, Anders, we're always ready here on the desk. Thank you very much for commentary from both Anders and Semlin. That's that particular portion of the day done. Heartbreak City, I think we call that segment for the last 3 matches. My goodness, we've seen 3 great teams dumped out of the major, and joining them is NaVi. Fantastic performance from Fnatic. Now we've got Moses and Fifth Lauren to break it down. Jason,
Can we have NaVi back? I miss him already.
Same.
That was such
On the other hand, taking nothing away from the fact that Fnatic have just played a blinding game.
Yeah, I mean, they had to work for that one, right? And I mean, the cool thing about it was, like, that's the old school Fnatic you love watching, where, like, just some rounds just don't make sense.
Yeah,
like they're getting just battered on their own T side, and out of nowhere, Flusha gets that 4 kill with the spam to kill the last guy. And from there, that just seems, those are the individual plays that we always used to see them make that just like ignites this team, because then it just seemed from then on like something clicked, right? And they kind of figured everything out, and they got some rounds up on their T side, but really that exchange back and forth early on in the second half on the defensive side of things was craziness. I thought NaVi on the T side read the game pretty well in the sense that they were trying to exploit the A bomb site, because Crims was the only defender there for quite some time, and eventually Fnatic switched that up, right? Eventually they started rotating someone back a little bit more, and if Crims was alone, he was playing outside of the bomb site instead of inside of the bomb site, so he could play a retake tactic. But I mean, how many times did we see someone from Fnatic just get a kill through smoke or right through a box at like critical moments? It was so sick. You got vintage JW in there. He just got on a roll, was ending rounds. This shot is probably the most ridiculous shot I've seen with a pistol like all year. It was just,
Dennis, man, pistol master.
Yeah, I mean to a certain degree, but that's still just unbelievable.
Just ridiculous,
I don't get it.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like I went back and I rewatched the game from 1-2 years ago, because it wasn't necessarily even that tactic heavy. We were just talking about individual performances. Simple as well on NaVi's end, which is playing out of his mind, whereas for Fnatic it was more of a team effort. But yeah, you can definitely tell as well when Fnatic got into the role there that they actually did start taking a lot of gambles on their CT side. Dennis pushing into the B halls, and then even when even Crims pushing in A halls or A ramp as well. And NaVi, they were trying to actually change up the pace a little bit, go a little bit faster, do a solid fast execute. But then you saw Fnatic, they're just taking a gamble, and pretty much every single time it paid off. Yeah, I mean, some rounds in the classic NaVi was just run down so much, those flanks were just brutal. All the information goes towards Fnatic. The timing in certain rounds was a little bit rough. And I know when we're going to look at NaVi and we're going to talk about them, we're going to say tough or simple, 30 kills, 120 ADR in this game, incredible performance, but you got to give a little bit of love also to Flamey. He's not up there in the frag department, 16, but on that T side, there were at least 3-4 rounds where he just comes up A ramp and opens things up with like 1 to 2, or at least 2 quick kills with the AK-47 to get his team in position to win it, and then from there, it's just all the plays are made by Fnatic, right? You think that Crims clutch with the AWP, the one-on-one, JW, I mean, that was the round that him and JW were in like a 2-on-4 trying to retake that bomb site, and there's another kill through the box that round. So there were so many situations that NaVi had in hand. If you talk to any of these players, they're going to say they dropped the ball, that they lost this match because they had so many clutch situations that Fnatic recovered in all of them, which is a tough way to lose a game as a player.
Final scenes at the end of the match with JW celebrating. He had another good game. In fact, the entire team, Robin, had a good game, didn't we? We were looking at across the board at the scoreboard, and literally separated by a couple of frags. No,
definitely. And like Jace was saying as well, it's not like their T side stood out all that much. It was just very basic, just play a lot of defaults, try and get some picks and execute on a bomb side. But at the same time, I feel like actually NaVi, because Jace was saying in the green room there, it's quite surprising because NaVi tends to be pretty poor on their CT side, and I feel like they actually did try to do something to maybe make it a little bit easier on themselves. So you saw a lot of pass on middle quite a bit, try and do a lot of retakes rather than just trying to hold the bomb side, and it definitely worked out for them on their seat side. It's their T side then switching over, and there was so many clutch rounds that it could have just gone in anyone's favor. But in this particular game, it just ended up every single one except for I think one clutch round ended up going on Fnatic's way.
Going to get more from both of you in just a moment, but JW is now in the player area waiting to join us, so we'll welcome him now. JW, congrats on what I guess must have been a very tough game, but also a massive win.
Yeah, thanks a lot. It was one hell of a game. I'm still like shaky. So,
I don't blame you. We're shaking, and we were only watching it. Khan occasionally was jumping up and down during the middle of the match as well. We watched it with him, and I think you put your boss through a lot there.
Yeah.
What was it like to play against them? Because we know they're a great team, we know they've got great players, but so have you. And I guess we felt like going on to Mirage, it was going to be a bit of a brawl. Was that how it felt to you?
We were prepared for Mirage. When we woke up this morning, we went through Mirage and Cobble because that's where we wanted the veto to end up. So we knew what they did, but like going into the game, I messed up a crucial kill on the pistol round, and I feel like if I got that kill, maybe we got the pistol round and we would start roll from there. But like we started out very bad and we got scared. That's, I don't know why, but most of our games when we go in right now, we start them so scared. Like we don't play to win, we play to not lose,
right?
Which is the wrong mentality at this stage because they're gonna take advantage of that. And they got money control, they had double ops, Simple and Guardian. It's like wherever we went, it's like boom, we're dead. So I don't know. Then we just started to play more loose, and it started to click, but. I think Flusha turned the game around for us.
That's what I was going to ask you about. Was it that moment? Because we were talking about it before, and it just felt like maybe this is an old bit of Fnatic have suddenly woken up and they've realised that actually they're very good at this game.
Yeah, I think if Flusha didn't win that round, I think we could honestly flat out lost like 16-5 or something this game. But that round was a round that we kind of died there in our souls a bit, but Flusha revived us, you know.
He was the medic in the team.
So yeah, for sure. The MVP goes to Flusha in this game, 100%.
Good stuff. Jason, obviously alongside, so with Robin, I'm sure they've got questions for you.
You want me to go first? I can go first.
All right, cool. Go first.
JW, Olafmeister was talking a little bit about confidence and communication day one here. How do you feel that has turned out for you now? Because we're day 4 now.
Yep.
And you guys, for me at least, I feel like we're looking into a Fnatic that we probably haven't seen for at least a year, right? I feel like you guys have been playing a lot better this tournament, even though you've been losing 2 games. How do you feel is going on within the team?
Yeah, I mean, every tournament we fall out in the group stage, and it's devastating for us, you know. But at the same time, the result looks so insanely bad, but we still feel that it's not as bad as it looks, you know, because we lose to the best teams, and we are just unfortunate with the drawings most of the time, in my opinion. So going into this tournament after the boot camp, it's like we put in so much time into this, and that's why I missed so many easy shots this game, because this was the most nervous game in my whole career, 100%, because I don't know, it was such a tough opponent. The stakes are so high. I have so much to lose, I feel like, and I put in so much tournament time going into this tournament. So I don't know, the nerves got ahead of me this time, and I think it's the same for all of us. We have so much invested here now.
Still played great, obviously. Talk about that a little bit, the boot camp, because you guys are famously a team that used to never really enjoy boot camping. You never did it. Like famously, you had an event where like Crims didn't even play Counter-Strike for like a week and just showed up and was the MVP. You guys have always spoken out against the boot camp, but this time you kind of tried it. And do you feel the impact of that? Is it something where just because of how much Counter-Strike you played, or did you guys actually tactically go over some things and do something at this boot camp that allows you to play some of these maps better?
We put a lot of time into tactics and stuff like that as well, of course, but we felt our biggest issue going into this boot camp was the communication. Our communication has been like really poor at the last events, and when it starts to like go bad, we tend to do more individual stuff and talk less with each other, which is obviously not good, and they're gonna take advantage of that. So we worked a lot on the like communication part, but also implement more tactics. Jump is like every day going through at least 1 hour with us, stuff that our opponents do here, and what he don't really anti-strat, but he gives us like all information that we want, and he tells us how we should play, that like what will work against them, how play style wise, I guess. So we have worked, I would say, on everything this boot camp.
Did you feel like it was like super impactful? I mean, would you guys, is your kind of like mindset about boot camps changing? Would you guys do this again for like a future large event? Have you kind of got like turned on to the idea, I guess?
Yeah, like before, I'm gonna be honest, like we have never really needed a boot camp.
There's that as well.
That's the truth. And now we felt that we need it. We really need it. So I feel like we have improved a lot here. Like, practice is still practice, but like we have played insanely good at practice, and we felt like, or still feel really ready for this tournament. And I hope if we win this upcoming game and go to the playoffs, I think like everything in our heads will be released, and you will see like the best Fnatic you have ever seen in the playoffs.
Oh, I want that.
I want that too.
I want that too.
I want to see. I want to see you playing at the top of your game always, JW. So a pleasure to talk to you as always. Congrats on the win today, and we'll see you a bit later on in the final match. And good luck in the chance to get into the playoffs.
Thank you.
Yeah, good luck, Jasper.
Fnatic then are safely through a very difficult tie against NaVi. NaVi do end up finishing outside of the top 8 again as the legendary team drop down and outside the playoffs at a major. It's been an incredible run for them yet again, and for all the wrong reasons, Moses. They have one of the best players in the world, there's no doubt about it. You could argue they have 2 or 3 of the best players in the world. It still isn't enough, and questions are now going to be asked about this team, about their direction, about their lack of strategy, about their lack of in-game leader full-time. These things are going to come up over the next few weeks as we head outside of the major. It's probably a little bit too raw to talk about it right now, but as analysts, you guys have got a bit more insight to it. So we already know there's going to be some sort of CIS shuffle. You'd imagine this team will be involved in that.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't even think there's going to be questions about what they need. I mean, first and foremost, straight up, you just need an in-game leader, and that's been apparent for some time now. And they've tried to make it work, and credit to them. I know those guys have worked very hard. I've talked to a couple of them, and they've really been busting their ass to make this work, and it's just not providing the results that they need. That these players are skilled enough to get. So I mean, priority number 1 is find a way to get an in-game leader. What goes beyond that, I have no idea. But
they need to turn this around. They need to see success in this team. It's a big name brand. We know how big the organisation is, and having players of the calibre of Guardian. See, but you're not going to hold on to these players forever, are you? If you're not going to win tournaments.
No, that's the big thing, right? It's the window of opportunity that you have is so very small. And you see Fnatic. Yes, everyone thought they were going to last forever. It was like a year, and now their windows collapsed. And look how hard it is for them to get back there. Virtus Pro has those small windows of opportunity earlier in the year. They had that 3-month stretch where they were probably, in my opinion, the best team in the world across that 3 months, and they still kind of lost the major final, and then it takes this long to get back. And look at what they've gone through. We're not even certain that they're gonna be of some force in the playoffs here. So there's windows of opportunity, and you have to seize them when you have the chance. And to do that, they need an in-game leader, and that's obvious.
All right. Final thoughts from Robin?
No, just to touch on that as well. I don't even know, like, if you were when you're talking about in-game leaders from now, for example, I don't even necessarily think it has to be an actual player. I think it can be, just a coach. Because when I look at this team, right, and I look at all the, you have the Simple, you have the Guardian, you have the Edwards and stuff, and it's like, who could you really replace? And the only one that really comes to mind then would be Cease, right? But I feel like he's also such a very impactful player, and he's been moved over to, like,
he was so good when he wasn't
exactly right when he wasn't in game leading, when he was when he first joined the team, he was actually their star player, right? So
it feels like the poison chalice, doesn't it?
Yeah, it definitely is. Then for me at least, it's like, well, do you really want to do like a roster swap within this lineup? And they could just be really good, but the only thing they need is, in my mind at least, is leadership. And I think that they can swing that in just getting a new coach. If Starix didn't work out, hey, okay, that's fine. Then maybe try another one.
Yeah. As you can see, the MVP on the screen. The positive side of this match came from Fnatic, and well, you heard JW. He said Flusha was the MVP, and that's exactly who we've gone with as well.
No question. Got him started on the T side and had huge kills in the second half as well. I mean, you heard it. They might have lost that 16-5 if it wasn't for that clutch he wins, which is just massive. But even going forward from there, in that exchange of rounds early on that went back and forth, he had a couple of those critical CZ kills, a couple nice kills through the box when someone's planting, just to delay, just to get that extra kill that allows them to play retake a little bit more confidently. He was huge. Yep,
big game from Flusha, big game from the old boys at hand in Fnatic. They are into the 2-2 match. They have one more shot at the quarterfinals. Talking of the quarterfinals, our next matches, our next set of 3, all have matches where a team can make the quarterfinals. We've already got 2 teams through. Gambit and Big Clan are already there. Next up, we'll see who of G2 and Astralis can make it 3.
Coming up next, G2 Esports versus